So after starting out the gate pretty strong, the market began to fade. And for the most part, it was pretty difficult for the broad market to get back on track. But trading was bifurcated. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 both finished lower, while the NASDAQ Composite and Russell 2000 closed higher. It was all about technology. It continues to be paced by semiconductor stocks, which have a new bellwether, Micron. That stock actually caught an upgrade to $100 a share from $55 at Nomura. Semiconductors have been really hit or miss for 2 decades. Micron, in fact, the perfect proxy for this mercurial sector. But the best sector actually was real estate, led by HCP. That's a healthcare facilities real estate investment trust. It sports a 6.5% dividend yield. And then there are consumer discretionary names, led by beaten down names. You're seeing those come back. Newell, Rubbermaid, Foot Locker. And then, of course, there's Amazon, which held up for most of the session. Stealthy bullishness underneath the surface. You know, I always talk about market breadth as being a better gauge for the session than the overall indices. Well, today the breadth was extraordinarily bullish. On the New York Stock Exchange, 1,600 advancers, 1,300 decliners, 148 new highs, only 25 new lows. Almost $2 billion up volume versus $1.3 billion to the downside. NASDAQ was even stronger. 1,700 advancers, only less than 1,200 decliners. 270 stocks at new highs versus 25 new lows. 1.4 billion up volume, 800 million to the down. All in all, I think it was a pretty good session. Now, there was some concern over losses in industrial names, but many have come so far it was inevitable that we're going to have this pullback. In fact, for all of you guys out there griping about Trump's tariffs hurting industrials, let's remember that Boeing was $159 on Inauguration Day, recently hit a high of $365. So in other words, be cool and get ready to buy the dip. By the way, we just told you about breaking news. President Trump issuing an order saying Broadcom's proposed takeover of Qualcomm is prohibited and that any merger, acquisition, or takeover substantially equivalent to this proposed deal will be prohibited. Qualcomm and Broadcom stocks are both slightly lower.